Settle yourselves on a bolster or on some foam pads. Rest your hands on the thighs and give yourself a little bit of space to observe the diaphragm, the width of the chest. Bring particular awareness to the diaphragmatic band all the way around. The diaphragm connects all the way around. So allow that space to be lifted without bringing tension up into the shoulders. And then bring your hands to Namaskarsana and close the eyes. So here, use the prayer position of the hands as a guide for the opening of the chest, the balance of the rib cage, and the width from armpit to armpit, from elbow to elbow, drawing those elbows slightly back. So it feels as if that the forearms are being pulled from the wrists back. So the biceps feel like they're ready to turn from inside out, and the armpit chest lifts a little more. Relax the eyes, release the cheeks, and allow the eyeballs to rest down. So withdrawing the eyes a little from the external world, enabling your awareness to move deeper within. Take 3 deeper inhalations to wash the breath over the skull. Nice cool inhale, long, slow, smooth exhale. Back of the neck broad and wide. Heart uplifted. On your next exhale, bow down the head. Open the eyes, release the hands, and raise the head up. Okay, so I asked you to bring an awareness to here. So now we're going to raise the arms up, so stretch the arms up, and just lift that space up. Use the thumb side to lift the back of the ribs, use the baby finger side to lift the fronts of the ribs. Sit squarely on your buttock bones so it feels like they're planted well. It should feel like the pelvis is lifted as well. So the sacrum should feel like it's moving in and up, not leaning back. Those of you that are happy to, wrists able to, interlace the fingers over the head, push the palms away and up. Lengthen up through the armpits. Turn the hands down, change the interlace, push the palms away and stretch up again. So as if you're stretching from the buttock bones into the wrists. Creating length. And then release. Change across of the legs. Right, again, observe this band. Stretch the arms out to the side. Just check that the middle fingers are in line with your collarbones. There's a tendency we overdo, so just have them straight out. Now turn the little fingers higher than the thumb side. Release the shoulders down and raise the arms up. Stretch the fingers. Lift through the chest. And that should give you a different sensation around the diaphragm, around the ribs. Back of the neck, let any tension go. Move it into the triceps to hold the arms there, to hold the elbows in. And then lower the arms and release the legs. Okay, we've got Supta Virasana, which is the bent knee going back. Otherwise, you can do it with straight legs. So if you know Supta Virasana, go into it. If you don't know, you're going to use the bolster because it's nice to have a bit of support, and have maybe a half foam pad, or a blanket for your head. So I've got a foam pad there. If you're going in with, if the knees don't allow you to go into the pose, Then you'll have the legs straight and you'll put a belt around the thighs. I'll just quickly demonstrate Supta Virasana. So you've got the knees are down, the bottom is down, the knees are comfortable. If it's too tight on the fronts of the knees, it just feels like they need a little bit of release, just pull, lift each kneecap up and just pull the skin there. Feet go straight back. Walk yourself back onto the bolster. The chest is supported, the bottom is still on the floor, the head comes to here. I'm going to ask you to clasp the elbows and stretch them over the head. If, however, your legs don't allow that action, then you can take a belt, put it over and around the legs, centre of the thigh, tighten it, so the legs are wanting to be held in towards each other. Think about keeping the connection from the inner edge of the big toenail, spread out through the toes, lower, so you can go down, have the legs bent as you go down, lift the chest over the bolster, and then slide those legs away, rolling them in at the same time. Shoulder blades are deep into the back. Then you can clasp the elbows and draw them over your head. We'll just hold this for a minute or so. Observe the wonderful release, the diaphragm. Let the outer corners of the eyes, the outer corners of the mouth be soft. Enjoy the inhalation and the gentle release of the exhale. And just find the rhythm of your own breath. If you've got the straight legs, you've only just gone in, hold the clasp a little while longer. But if you're in the Supta Virasana, the bent knee practice, then just bring the arms back over, change the clasp of the elbows, and then draw the arms over the head again. Those of you with straight legs, you can now change your arms as well. Maintaining the work through the legs, the length of the spine, the softness of the face, softness of the breath. Face soft, eyes quiet. And then lower the arms down and just take the arms either side of the body, palms facing up. Shoulder blades again deep in the back, collarbones rolling back towards the floor. Up and over the shoulders so the armpit chest feels nice and open. If you've got straight legs, bend up the legs. If you've got Virasana legs, then press into the elbows. You can use the hands on the buttocks. Lift yourself up using the hands. Release the belt. And this depends on the flexibility of your spine, your pelvis. If you want to just go forwards into Adho Mukha Virasana here, you can do that. You can spin around and you can go over the bolster. You can put a block underneath your bottom if that's required. And just go over the bolster and rest down here now, lengthening through the back of the body. Couple of breaths, let the back release, let the breath come into the diaphragm, into the abdomen. If you've got your head turned one way, just gently turn the head the other way, keeping the back of the neck long, so the face is soft and quiet. And then when you're ready, inhale, sit up. So the next pose that we're going to do is Virasana. So you're going to sit down between your feet. Now again, if you need cross legs, just do cross legs. And we're now coming to Gomukhasana. So just the arm work. Stretch out the arms. Extend out through to the thumbs, to the baby finger. Left hand is coming down the back, right arm is going up, and bind. It doesn't matter if you don't bind, I will just turn around. So I've changed hands so that I'm doing the same side. It's okay to be here. Yeah, it's okay to be here. You can use a belt. And hold the belt, and then you can gradually creep the hands towards each other. And then release the hands. If you're using the belt, change the belt onto the other side. Lift up through the chest. Again, holding the belt or taking the bind, just to open up the armpit chest a little more, widen the diaphragm. Breathe. And then release the arms and gently stretch the legs out. You're going to come to sitting in Swastikasana. So sit on your bolster. So you can use a foam pad, but I'm choosing a bolster. And have a brick behind you. Rest the hands onto the thighs. Take the right hand behind, take the left hand on the outside edge of the right knee, lift the chest, look over your right shoulder. Paravritta Swastikasana or Sukhasana. And come back to centre. Lift the chest. Take the left hand behind, right hand on the outside edge of the left knee. Lift and turn. Feeling the diaphragm, feeling the rotation, and just not holding yourself so rigid, so that you can just observe the breath. Don't go maximum, because if you go maximum, the breath might become tight. And so, although in Iyengar yoga the breath work isn't sort of the main focus, it is the main focus in the sense that it needs to be a natural breath. It's not being held, it's not being forced. And then it tells you that the body is comfortable where it is. So if we call this Sukhasana, bring the legs, bring your body back, change across your legs. We call this Sukhasana. Sukha means easy, a comfortable state. So rest your hands on your thighs and just observe the breath. And notice how easy it is. And now you're going to lift and turn. And as you lift and turn, make sure you can still take a nice, full, easeful breath. And picture, feel, observe the movements in and around those lower ribs. See if you can spread it up a little bit higher. And then come back to centre. Sit tall, right hand outside edge, left knee, left hand goes behind, lift and turn. Nice, full, easeful breath. One more breath. And then come back to centre. So we do Adho Mukha Virasana. We're going to use the bolster. So this is if your knees allow. If the knees don't allow to do this pose, that's totally fine. You can lie on your back with your legs bent, stretching your arms over your head. Okay, so your feet are flat on the floor, knees bent. Otherwise, you can have the knees apart and you're going to stretch forwards and you're going to get a nice length through the armpit chest, abdomen is broad, and release the head down. Now, if this is too much for you, say your legs don't allow that to happen, you can take a chair if you need a little bit more of a height. You can sit your bottom onto a foam pad or even onto a bolster or even onto 2 chairs and then stretch forwards this way. So you can just have the arms going up, body stretching forwards. So I quite like having the elbows supported here, so you can see my fingers at work. I'm playing a piano. I can't play the piano and it probably never looks like that. If you do play the piano, you're probably having a hissy fit now. You know, don't play the piano like that. You can bring a support underneath the head, yeah? Alternatively, just rest the elbows. Like this. So again, it's very quietening, but get the back chest to move in. You can then always take those arms onto the back of the chair also. Just finding that way of just getting that nice bit of length through here. And then inhale, sit up. If you're happy to kneel, we're just going to do this once either side. Okay, so if you're happy to kneel, you're here, your head is going to come onto the bolster and you're going to turn your head one way. I'll unroll my sleeve so you can see what my arm is doing. And this one too, now you know I mean business. You're going to turn to the right hand side. So you're sitting on your heels, you're going to fold forwards, your left ear is going to hit the bolster. Your left arm is going to come underneath you, so that should feel very comfortable. Okay, and then you can place the hand to here to turn the body a little more. And just let that head rest and think, have I got a nice easy breath? Can I make myself 5 to 10% more comfortable here? If the answer is no and you just want to go back to stretching forwards, that's fine. If you want to get a little bit more turn, you can. You can even bring the arm up onto the bolster if you want it that way. But nice easy breathing, nice easy breath. Rest the head, relax the eyes, release the tongue. And then drop the arm down if it's on the bolster. Come back, rest the head, shoulders away from the ears. So the forehead is currently on the bolster. Lift up a little. Take your right hand underneath, so it's stretching towards that left side. Right ear comes onto the bolster now. Left elbow comes up, and you release this way. So again, we're giving the diaphragm a little bit more rotation, a little bit more release, letting the breath be smooth and even. Relax the eyes and release the tongue, breathe. This is a favourite one for my sort of the recovery restorative classes that I do. This is one of my favourites to teach, although I do like to stay in it. And with an inhale, come back, rest the head down, clasp the elbows over the head, or remove the bolster and just go forwards here with the arms back. Shoulders moving away from the ears just a little. And then you can inhale and come up. So now we've got another one of my favourites. You have your bolster this way. We're going to be turning to, we're going to be rotating to the right. Sorry, I had to use my brain then. And so what we're going to do is you sit in Dandasana and you're going to lean onto the bolster like this. Okay? And then you're going to turn, so you turn to the right. Okay? So that's if you're watching your legs. Otherwise this leg bends up. And forget everything you've ever learned about Trayang Mukha. Okay, you're allowed to flop over. I was taught this by a wonderful teacher called Garth McLean. Google him, he's amazing, he's great. So here, there, and you turn away. You just let yourself rest again. And let the breath be smooth and even. And if it's tight on the neck, just drop the head towards that right side, towards that right arm a little more. Couple more breaths here. And then pressurize the hands. Inhale, sit up. Using your hands to push yourself up. Lengthen out the left leg. Move the bolster onto the other side. Take your right leg, bend it back. And then you're going to go, or keep the leg straight, go over. So you're turning your breastbone towards the bolster like you're looking away from you. And let the head come down. Let that right arm rest down. Use the left hand for support again. And let the breath be smooth. It is important to compare the left and the right side. This, the practice of yoga is about equilibrium, balance. We want to observe that the left and the right side are moving towards the same aim, the same goal. Nice, smooth, even breathing. Couple more breaths. And then press into the hand. Inhale, sit up. Bring your legs forwards. So if your knees don't like kneeling, then you can do dog head down. If they don't mind kneeling, I do recommend putting a blanket or something underneath them. So I've taken to calling this half dog head down, but I think some schools you call Anahatasana. So you're up on your knees and you're lifting the tailbone and the upper body is doing dog head down. Yeah, so it's here because the hamstrings aren't being challenged or being, you can get a little bit more length and you can feel like you can really pull those hips back. So from the diaphragm to the palms, stretch and widen. So know what goes on through the hands has a direct effect on the rib cage. Make sure the back of the neck is long and the head doesn't feel like it's being squished. The shoulders are comfortable. If it's not comfortable, then you want to come up into your dog head down, then just curl the toes, work the legs, and come to your dog head down. And observe. And depending on your capacity, we can hold this for between 1 and 3 minutes. If the brain starts to wander, starts to plan, starts to think ahead, then observe what's going on, the actions in the body. Ask yourself, are my elbows lifting a little away from the floor? Does my neck feel soft?
Is my breath super easy? Can my thighs draw up into my hips? Can I widen my hamstrings? Do I need to rest? Am I happy working still? Is the pressure between my left and my right hand equal? Is the spreading of the backs of the legs equal? Is my face expressing anything? Can it be soft? Are my eyes quiet? Can I release the crown of the head a little more? Can I lift the hips a little more? Is the pressure even on the hands, so the front and the back of the hands? Are the knuckles connected? Does the wrist feel supported? Am I working too hard? Is it time to come down? All of these questions, so you don't even, there's no way you can plan what you're going to buy in Tesco's. Other supermarkets are available, and the farmer's market. And then exhale, come down, stretch back. Let the cells of the body sink to the floor, rest down completely. Walk your hands back, sit tall, take your bolster or take your blanket or your foam pad. I'm going to use the bolster because I want to get the heart, this area opened one more time. So put the bolster, and I've got a gap. If I show you, that's my brick, and I can pretty much fit the brick down between the bolster and the wall. You need about a fist, just over a fist's distance apart. And the key is to get the lower buttock. So you have to face away from the bolster and then get that lower buttock in. Right in. Lie onto your shoulder, not very elegant, and then roll onto your back. You stretch the legs up the wall, and I don't know whether you can see, but from my diaphragm, my ribs, they're nicely supported. The bolster is giving the pelvic area some support and the whole of the lumbar curve support, and my shoulders are down. Now it is important to have the shoulders down, and then you find where's most comfortable to have the arms. Fingers are gently curled, legs are rolling in, toes are spread. Face is quiet. Eyes are quiet. Breath is easy. Nice, full, easeful breathing. If you want to stay here longer because it's completely delicious, then stay there. If you're ready to come out, just bend up the legs. Slide the bolster out. Just let the legs come to straight
pelvis is on the floor. I like to clasp the elbows and bring them over my head just to create a bit more length. And then release, change. Rest the hands on the abdomen. One at a time, bend up the legs, roll onto your side. Shavasana, relaxation. So you can have yourselves lying with a blanket just underneath the back of the head. You can put a pleated blanket if you wish between the shoulder blades as well, if you want a little bit more opening of the chest. When you go to lie down, if you want a covering for your eyes, then cover your eyes. Have the legs bent, lengthen the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae as you lie down. Pull the blanket in so that the blanket touches the shoulders and there's a soft curve to the back of the neck. Lengthen the legs one at a time, making sure that everything's comfortable. Put your legs over a bolster if you need that extra bit of support. Have the heart, the diaphragm area gently uplifted. There's a natural curve in the lower back and a natural curve in the neck. Release the eyes, relax the cheeks and release the tongue. And let the inner body release into the support of the floor, into the support of the skin. Allow yourself to rest back completely. When you're ready to move on, rest your hands on your abdomen, rolling the thighs in, bend up the legs, and quietly roll onto your right side. Rest there, let the left side rest upon the right. And then looking down at the floor, roll a little more, press with your left hand, come to sitting. I like to sit up on a height just because it's easier. Breath, sukha, easy. Balance the head on the spine. Relax the eyes and release the tongue. Bring the hands to Namaskarsana. You can sit tall as you exhale. You can exhale the sacred syllable Om, either verbally or internally. Inhale from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Exhale the sacred syllable Om. Inhale, tailbone to the crown of the head. Exhale, Om. At the end of the exhale, bow down the head. Open the eyes. Release the hands. And raise up the face. Thank you very much. It's a perfect practice to do anytime you feel like relaxing, but absolutely brilliant just before bed. Okay? Have a super evening, morning, nighttime. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.